Hello and welcome to this quick video about a new version of the OMPHobby M2. Now I've looked at quite a few of the different versions of the M2, the original version and then the M2 EVO that came out a little while ago. This is just out. Most of the usual suspects have got them. I'll put a link down to Scotia RC down below, go and check those out. This is the newly released version and they've changed quite a few things on here. This is fundamentally a different helicopter. Still an M2, still based on the same fantastic frame, configuration, layout. It still has the tail that's run by a little motor, so you know, no negative pitch, but in terms of how they fly, they are fantastic. Now if you are a quad pilot and you found that flying quads doesn't get your pulse and heart racing in the same way, helicopters can absolutely do that for you. Flying a radio control helicopter is a really thrilling experience. They're not easy to FPV because of the amount of vibration that goes on here, even with everything balanced. But in terms of just sheer thrill factor, there's not a lot that can beat a radio control helicopter, in my humble opinion. So there are 3 or 4 major things that I've changed here. What I'll do in a minute, I think I'll actually pull out the M2 EVO, my M2 EVO that's in the orange, and we'll actually do a side-by-side comparison. But very, very quickly, what's changed on this? Well, the big thing that's changed on this is this now has at the front something called OFS3. This is a new flight controller. I've heard on the grapevine that the original designer of the original flight controller that OMPHobby has been using left OMP, and that gave them the opportunity to kind of redesign from the bottom up a brand new unit. This is a much more modern system with much better telemetry, receiver support if you're not running S-Bus, but more about that in a moment, and also the ability to kind of Bluetooth link to an app and configure everything as well. White skids may or may not be interesting to you, but if you see white skids on a M2, it's probably one of these. New head geometry, I'll give you a close look in a minute. It's very difficult to see, unless you look very closely, what is special about the head geometry here. They've increased the pitch available by about 15% by changing a couple of the links, making some of the turnbuckles solid plastic, so they feel almost like sacrificial parts. So I would be sure to get a couple of extra ones in for those. And the last thing they're talking about is they have changed the motor. I've done a side-by-side comparison. Again, I'll show you more closely in a minute. It appears to be the same Sunny Sky unit that was in my M2 EVO that I've had for a little while, but they reckon this has got a higher KV unit. It might have, it hasn't got anything printed on it. So I thought it would be useful to actually compare the previous version with this new M2 EVO Mk2. This is the original M2 EVO here on the left. The new one is here on the right, and obviously the first thing you're seeing is the flight control system. This OFS3 unit here on the front is now completely different. Lots of things to talk about here. This is probably one of the major changes, along with the swash, that has actually changed from the original to this version. Lots and lots of new exciting things, and as I mentioned in the introduction, this feels like a much more modern unit. One of the big things you'll notice is that the S-Bus input has disappeared, so it's now a CRSF input. I would have loved if they would have kept the S-Bus input on the new one. It's DSM-X or CRSF. I think that having S-Bus would have been a sensible thing to do, but I'm guessing they've decided that CRSF is the way to go. That does mean that if you do set it up with CRSF, that means you're going to be able to use Express LRS, things like Crossfire, Tracer, any system that talks CRSF. You are going to be able to get telemetry out of this unit back to your Radio 2. You're going to be able to get battery capacity, current voltage, RPM detail, temperature, vehicle attitude, and those kind of things coming back. So that's a big advantage. Lots of additional telemetry over the one that was using the inbuilt OMPHobby telemetry stuff that was in the first version. Lots of other big changes too. There is now a Bluetooth connection available to the app on this new version that gives you access to fully configurable software throttles, so you don't have to do all the messing around setting up the curves on the radio like you did with the old one. That can be done in software, and there's 2 complete separate parameter files, one for beginner, one for expert, so you can have it set up for nice and calm, and then you can have the ability to switch into the other setup if you want to fly it like you stole it. Things that are settable via the app are things like the PDFs, TALY gains, deadbands, rates expo, the mechanical setup of the head. The head has changed, I'll show you that in a minute. LED setup on the flight controller is available if you want to try that with a set button and loads of different flashes. But to be honest, most of us have the phone with Bluetooth these days, and using the app, that's going to be a lot more intuitive than trying to figure out what the flashing LEDs at the front mean. Along with this change with the OFS 3, the other change that's cosmetic is the landing gear is now white on the new version. Not a big deal in my humble opinion, but you know, if you see one in the wild, you know that this is the upgraded one because it's got the white skids. The other change that they're talking about is the motor is now different. Now, obviously, these are slightly different because this one was the orange version and has some orange anodized bits on it. These both appear to be the same motor. Now, I'm obviously missing something. These are both branded as Sunny Sky R40S-3s, but in the literature, they're saying that this motor in the new one has more power. I'm guessing only flying will actually tell you that that's the case. Maybe it's a slight kV difference that has been tweaked, but there's nothing externally to let you know that this motor is significantly different. Even looking down in the windings, they look very, very similar indeed. The other thing that's changed is the heads. Now, if you kind of look at them side by side here in the video, it's very tricky to see what's different, but it has. So for example, there were turnbuckles here from the swash plate up to the grips at the top. They are solid pieces on the new one. There's some other changes too. The linkages down to the swash, the other small linkages appear to be a little bit bigger. Now this new swash is supposed to give an additional 15% larger cyclic pitch throws, and that gives you a little bit more room to move, because hopefully that you can see here that both the blades are kind of at the same position. The swash is sat at a slightly different height as well from what I can see. So the geometry in the swash has changed a little bit from the previous version. It's only tweaked, which I guess is why it's only a 15% change. But to be fair, the original head was pretty solid, but any increase in things like range and stuff is always welcome. Last thing to quickly compare are the tails. The tails are identical from what I can see. There's no big differences there as well. This is the new one here at the bottom. I'm not really seeing anything vastly different. Obviously, the only big difference here is that the old one had the anodizing on, whereas the new one in white is in the plain white metal. So there you have it, a quick look at the new M2 EVO Mk2 from OMPHobby. Again, link down below to people like Scotia RC. Go and check those guys out. These have it in stock. Hopefully now with things like Express LRS and support with via CRSF, it's going to mean that all of us that have modern radios that talk Express LRS are going to be able to add a receiver quite easily, and that ability to just connect to it via a phone and do all the configuration and setting makes it feel much more modern, even though the frame itself and the other pieces are still that fantastic M2 configuration. This feels like it's been plussed. Last thing to talk about is that I think OMPHobby have got in mind that some of the people who bought the original M2 EVO might be looking at all these upgrades with slightly envious eyes. And it sounds like they've got you covered. They are releasing an upgrade kit, which is going to be the flight controller. I think it's going to be the motor, the head, and some other bits and pieces too. I think the skids are in that. So if you want to take your M2 EVO to an M2 EVO Mk2 and take advantage of all this new exciting technology, then that's available too. But again, links down below if you're interested in this. If you want me to do videos showing how to do the setup with the new OFS 3 or how to do those things on your radio with Express LRS, then do let me know down in the comments. If there's enough interest, I'll do some more videos showing how you set this thing up. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Painless 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.